2013 has been a stellar year for McGrath's property management team on the North Shore, with Cathie Crampton at the helm. She sat down with both sides of the property management and sales equation for a coffee at the bustling Ottimo Italian kitchen. They're going to tell us what makes investment in this area a surefire bet.
John Paranchi, as the Ryde, Gladesville and Putney area specialist, you would come across many investor clients. What's your observation of capital growth in those areas over the last 12 months?
Good question, Cathie. As with most of Sydney, the local market has enjoyed really good capital growth. I think, Sydney's hovering around 12-13%. Now, Gladesville, Tennyson Point, Putney and Ryde are all experiencing slightly different growth rates, but they're all hovering around that 10% mark, which is fantastic. Some of the reasons for the capital growth, things like infrastructure. You've got the new Top Ryde Shopping Centre, good access to Macquarie University. Gladesville's 9 kilometres to the CBD of Sydney, so it's a really good area for investment.
And John, you work very closely with Sharyn Skrabanich, our new client consultant. How do you two work together to best service your client needs?
Yeah, Cathie, I love working with Sharyn. We utilise Sharyn by getting her down to appraise all our sale properties before they hit the market, just so if we do get those investors through, we're in a position where, we can give them some feedback on potential rental pretty much there and then, which is a great service to have. Sharyn pops down to our open for inspections and auctions, once again, to meet potential investors. So if you are looking at renting your property out, Sharyn's down on the ground, she knows what's going on in the local market, and as a local resident, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Sharyn, as a new client consultant, what type of product typically enjoys best capital growth?
When you say product, Cathie, I think we're referring to properties, and the properties that give the best capital return are those that are close to public transport, within a reasonable distance to the city or local business districts. And Gladesville, Top Ryde, Putney all fit that criteria. We've got the Macquarie Business Park not too far away, and we've got the city, which is less than 9 kilometres, as John said. So access to the city, access to business, great schools. Gladesville, Ryde, Putney all have those fantastic local schools that people want their children to go to. Also, we've got some great family homes in the area, and family homes are something that people want to live in. So they may not be able to afford to buy into that area at the moment, but certainly leasing a property is something that they can afford to do. I always do an appraisal of every property that's sold in the Hunters Hill, Gladesville, Ryde portfolio, which is a huge amount of properties when you consider how big our sales force here and how professional they are. We always do an appraisal of that property so that on day one, when a person walks into that property, if they are looking at it for investment purposes, they've got an opportunity there to see what that property is worth. One of the other areas that we work really closely with our sales team is when a property is managed by us, whether it's an investment or whether it's a home of the owner. We look after it for a period of time, and then eventually the property will come back to the sales force. So it's really important to have great property management and for that property to be well maintained and looked after, because it will reap the rewards to the owner when the property is back on the market for sale.